Caramba.
¿Qué tal,
Do you laugh at yourself? Do I?
Are you shy, Sofía?
Oh, shy I am.
Para conquistar a tantas mujeres en tu vida, ¿qué hacías?
Los expresidentes son como los jarritos chinos. Están muy bonitos, pero ¿qué hago con ellos?
Oye, que tiene razón.
¿Tiene algo?
Estas son viejas. Caramba. Aló. Ça va? Enchanté. Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? English is fine with you?
Sí.
Sí. Perfecto, inglés. That's better. ¿Cómo es tu español?
Entiendo, ma no hablo perfectamente.
Pero entiendes muy bien, ¿no?
Entiendo, sí. No todo. No todo.
¿Desde hace cuánto hablas español? ¿Entiendes?
¿Qué
Since
es?
when you speak Spanish?
When?
Since when? Yes. You
Since,
started to understand Spanish.
Perché il mio papà,
Sí.
habla muy bien.
Vivió en México tu padre, ¿no?
Sí,
Un tiempo, ¿sí? ¿Y te hablaba en español a ti?
Sí, no a mí, a vosotros.
A los demás.
Sí.
Have you been here before in Morelia?
No, never. No, it's my first time.
How did you like it?
Very beautiful.
Beautiful city. Beautiful. You were in Pátzcuaro, no?
Sí, yesterday. Yeah.
That's beautiful place.
Oh, cool. Thank you. Entonces, buen día.
I have a Cabernet Sauvignon for you, if you want. No?
Tonight. I take it with me.
I talked to Kate del Castillo. She's a very good friend of mine. She sends you lots of kisses.
She's a good friend.
Yeah.
She's wonderful.
Well, you just work together, no?
Yeah, we work together. Yeah, in the 33.
Is that finished?
Yes. Oh, yes. We shot until March. Yeah. We finished March.
Great.
Yeah.
Pátzcuaro is very nice, the 31st. They told you it's the day of the dead in Mexico.
Yeah.
The 31st.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Amazing.
You
Do you
will
do
love
it as well? You
yeah,
go
I'm
to
coming
the
this year. Yeah. I
to
want
the
to bring my
cemetery
children. Yes,
and-
everything. Yeah. It's an
So you
experience.
eat on the
Everything.
tomb?
Yeah, sure.
I love that. No, it's great. It's like, having a meal. It's usually after a funeral you go and eat a lot because
Yeah,
you want to be
I
alive.
know.
So it's to continue that hope.
It's pretty, and then, I'm Jewish, so the Jewish, the Shiva, I don't know if you know about that.
The
The
Shiva.
morning after someone dies, you have eight days of mourning, and you eat a lot, and you receive people so that you're very alive also. No? Your grandmother was from Poland,
Yeah.
so you have Jewish roots also, no?
No, they were not Jewish, but part of the family died in a concentration camp because they were intellectual. Some of them were intellectual, and also they were resistance.
Yeah.
And so a lot of Polish people died.
Yeah, of course. Not only Jewish.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Of course.
And so they left the country very early on in 39. They were prisoners of Russians. They were able to go away, and then there were prisoners of Germans. Then they were, able to go away, and they arrived in France because my grandfather was French, but my grandmother was Polish.
Polish.
Yeah.
And she talked to you in Polish also?
No, she sang in Polish.
Oh.
No.
And have you ever been?
Yeah, I've been there. Yeah, several times.
And then the concentration camp?
I went to
have
the
you made that?
Yeah, when I was 16 with my sister, we went together by ourselves to meet the family, and we also spent a day at the Auschwitz concentration camp.
Strong.
Strong.
Very strong.
Yeah.
You were
Today, actually, you know, I saw this film, Salt of the Earth, the documentary of inventors, and the son of Salgado.
How was it?
Devastating.
Really?
But so strong at the
Very
same time.
intense.
And very hopeful at the same
Also?
time. And it makes me feel that what's happening in Africa, the genocides, you know, it feels exactly as the same thing. And we're very passive.
We are.
We're so
it's unbelievable.
passive.
Why? I mean, we are aware and nobody does not. I mean, we do too little.
Because they're great resources and they're the poorest people.
I know. I know. And you're working right now? Are you?
I just finished this year 3 films.
3 films,
The
right?
33 and Cochet film, and my last film was I shot in Sicily with a first director feature film. I just did it. And my first day of
Do you ever rest?
tomorrow. Tomorrow.
You're going back home tomorrow?
No, I'm staying in Mexico.
Oh, you're staying?
Yeah.
Where?
Alessandro found a house for me by the sea, and I'm going with my kids.
Wow.
I'm so happy. You have no idea.
Are you staying for how long?
12 days.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Where? Do you know where?
On the Pacific coast.
Are you here by yourself or you?
No, my daughter's here, and my son's coming on Saturday, and my boyfriend's coming.
Oh, you're going to enjoy it very much.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Great, wonderful. How old is your daughter right now?
She's 14.
14. And your son?
21. Do you have children?
Yeah. My son, he's 22, and my daughter, she's 16.
16.
16. Difficult. I've been learning a lot.
Yeah. Children are.
That's the most difficult role, no? Being a mother,
Yeah.
I guess. That's very.
I think they're masters. The children are teaching us, parents.
Of course.
They make them.
It's not the other way around.
No, it's not.
No.
We're growing very fast with them.
We don't have options. Either you do it or you do it. You have to grow with them. Yes. Yes. Oh, it's amazing you're staying. Wow. You've ever been in Mexico, like in the ocean? And
Once,
the
because
beach?
I had 2 days shooting in Acapulco. But you wouldn't call it Mexico, right?
No, yeah. It's very nice. When was that?
I can't remember. We were in a hotel. We shot at the airport. We shot in a car, you know, going around, and I just remember putting my feet in the water with the big waves and warm water.
Very warm water. Always.
And that is
Acapulco
fantastic.
That's what makes Acapulco Acapulco. It's always, the weather is, I mean, it's
Beautiful.
always nice.
And the
It's always
sunset,
nice.
magical.
Magical. Where, you live in Paris?
Yeah.
Always, right? You were born in Paris?
I was born in Paris, but I really lived in Paris when I was only 15.
What happened before that?
I lived in the southwest of France. I live in the center of France. I live in the suburbs of Paris.
With the family? Well, sort of. Mother, father. They
Complicated.
were divorced.
Yeah.
I know.
It's never smooth.
Never.
You have to find the smooth inside.
Do you ever find it? I haven't been able.
When you accept it's never going to be serene, then it becomes serene.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's right.
You accept what it is.
Yeah. We're ready. So we're ready. Juliette, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Binoche. We call you the Binoche. Or the brioche also, no?
Brioche or binocle.
Binocle also.
Or boniche. Boniche is made, but in a very slang way.
Oh, really?
So at school I had lots of names.
The brioche is
what you eat in the morning.
Like a croissant, but different.
Yeah.
Why the brioche? Because of your
brioche, because it's easy with Binoche to play around and say brioche. You know?
Okay. No. Only because of that?
I think so. Oh, well, maybe something else, but maybe I'm too round.
So we were talking about Mexico, about you being in Morelia, which is a very important festival, the film festival in Morelia. This is your first time in the...
It's my first time.
How has it been?
It's been beautiful, wonderful. I was able to encounter people. There was Q&A, at the end of a screening, and I'm presenting 3 of my films, and there was we call it a master class. It's a big name, but it's just, talking about the craft and my experience as an actress and meeting with directors and actors. I mean, it's been very kind of fulfilling and interesting, and I saw one film here, The Salt of the Earth. Beautiful, so strong. And a festival really allows you to see a lot of different films, international
from
films.
all over the world.
So it's really fulfilling, and it just nourishes your passion for life, for living, for the others, and for yourself as well.
And for acting, I guess, still acting, no?
Yes,
I mean,
but it's educational. It opens your eyes. So I think you're very lucky to have some, Daniela and Alessandro, who's organizing this festival, and who are passionate and giving the time and money and
everything.
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 It's really a treasure for a country
When
to have.
When did you decide to come to Morelia? I mean,
well, they asked me to come here several times, but I'm working quite a lot, and I have my family, and when I don't work, I really focus on my children, because I have to. It's my my choice and my duty. So when I'm going to a festival, you have to make the time. But because I stopped shooting, I didn't want to shoot another film until the end of the year. So I said, okay, let's combine coming here, and I'm bringing my children as well, and we're going to go on vacation afterwards and visiting Mexico. So it's really combining life and my passion, which is making films.
Your father used to live here for a while, no? Did he talk about Mexico to you?
A lot.
Really?
And what strikes me when I come here is the people. They're very warm.
How do you find us? Really warm?
Very warm. The simplicity, there's a very direct way of being, and there's a sort of genuine warmth. I think in France we're a little more distant. There's a sort of politeness that makes a distance. In Europe, maybe, I don't know why it's like that.
And French people, you have something like very particular, no?
Yes, what?
No.
Yes, I think there's sort of an approach.
Are you very friendly, French people? For example?
It takes a while. To know each other, but when you know each other, after that, yes, it is very warm. It can be very warm and trustful and everything. But there's here the first impression is that the warmth, the besos, you give. You don't shake hands, you give a kiss to each other.
Yeah,
one kiss, we did 2 kisses.
Yeah, I know, that's
but it takes time to take 2 kisses.
It takes time?
I mean, it depends what kind of personality you have.
So I approached you, and so So when you say about the master class, how has been the trip, the journey in acting for you? I mean, it's been 30 years already?
Yeah, it's been 30 years.
How has been that journey?
I think at the beginning, you wanna prove you can act, and also I needed guides, I needed a father. So I think the director for me was necessary, a need of being fathered, seen. But then as you're going, and as I was going, I think I wanted to have more of a co-creation kind of relationship. So it's less willful. It's more in a need of finding unity and a journey inside of oneself. It's really what it is. Taking the time of bit by bit, take by take, and day by day, finding the truth of yourself through a story, through a character. So I think it's been very educational for me.
To another person, no? I mean, you give your heart and your brain and your mind to be another person, someone else, somebody else.
Yes or no, because you're using yourself, so it's part of you. And a lot of people after a film, they think the character is me, so it annoys me in a way because I feel I'm very different.
It's over.
Yeah,
it's over.
but there's something about, you know, in acting, you reveal yourself through a story and a character, so that it's you, and yet it lifts into another layer. So your experience becomes your matter, but yet you've got to lift it into an art form. And a film is an art, it can be an art form.
It is, of course it is. No, I mean, and you were born among an art
Theater,
of
yeah.
the theater, and your family, your mother, your father, they were
all passionate, you know, and I was lucky to have those passionate people and lovers of arts in general. So I went to the theater very early on, and I recognized, you know, watching, you know, actors and wonderful, you know, plays directed by, you know, Peter Brook and crazy directors, and giving the actors that's what I wanted to give to the world. So at 14 years old, I remember being so joyful in receiving, and I thought, I want to give the joy. I need to give that joy.
You always knew you wanted to act? I mean, since you
I recognized it. I didn't always know, but I recognized it.
You
and I
felt
think
it,
also because I didn't belong to the academic world, in a way the courtyard was my place, because I could imagine any possible world, any life was a reality, because the imagination is so powerful. And the faith in the imagination really is making, you know, our life, our world, and the evolution of the spices, you know, I think it's also with the power of our imagination and need, you know, what do I need is really a question you have to ask yourself.
And you always knew you were good at it? I mean, what did your mother say, for example?
I don't think I was particularly good at it.
No?
I had energy, I had a passion, but I had too much will, and that was in a way, but I had wonderful teachers.
You needed the technique?
No, not the technique.
No?
I needed to stop trying too hard.
Okay, okay.
And being instead of doing.
Okay.
And when you're suddenly in touch with your being, that it comes to you, it's not only you doing things, but it's coming to you. Then you're free. You're liberated from yourself, from your anticipation of things. And I think when you have wonderful coaches, you know, teachers, it really allows you to be better. And so you want to share it.
Your teachers were father and mother, or you had like other directors? How was that when you said, I want to act? Your mother, for example, she was an actress.
I directed a play, and I played in it at school. I was doing Le Roi Semeur of UNESCO. And at the end of the play, I mean, we had rehearsed like the whole year, and at the end of the play, I knew that's what I wanted to do. And my mother was there, and I said to her, I know what I want to do. And she said, what? I said, acting. Or in the theater, but acting, or I didn't know directing. It was both. And she was like, I saw her jaw drop and say, oh no. Oh no. And she said, yeah, and she said, you know, it's very hard. But I didn't care. And it's been very hard.
Is it?
It's been really, because you have to believe in your own path, and you have to create your own path, and you don't know yet what it is. And so as you're going, you know, through casting and counters, and at the beginning it's very hard because you're never good. You don't have the physics that is right, you know. You pass tests, and you don't have any news afterwards. So you imagine the best and the worst. So you're always grilled, you know. You never know what's going to happen. And I think throughout the whole life it's like this, because it's never done. You're always on the movement. But that's the passion that's going to drag you, take you, and the belief, the certainty that life is going to give you something. It's not only you doing things.
Life is giving back.
Life is giving, and it has to do with faith. But meanwhile, you've got to work. You've got to work.
It has to be, it has to do with faith. Are you a religious woman? Or
I'm
no?
not religious, but I have a relationship with the invisible, very much so. I'm very interested in a lot of religions and a lot of texts. I read a lot about, spirituality. I'm fascinated by mystics, and you have to find a sacred place inside of your life, inside of you.
No,
you have to, because everything's precious. You make every moment being special, if you want.
We were talking about the physics. Your looks, you are a very beautiful woman, no?
I don't believe that.
Really?
No, I don't believe that. And also, I can, when somebody tells me, it's very annoying because I don't know what to do with it. Because I like forgetting myself. And in acting,
not to be aware.
No, you don't want to be aware, because then you feel very prisoner of that. You want to feel liberated.
But
for me, feeling being luminous, that is for me, that I feel like, yeah, but that's the beauty beyond myself. That's the beauty of what we can be, and we all can be that. Is the feeling there's no separation with the others, that you're part of one, and then it feels better. It feels like the beauty is with being with the others, and I think then you become beautiful. But you try, to put things together. Okay.
You don't try too hard, come on.
Well, you're not with me in the breakfast in the morning, darling. You don't know. It's so late at night.
How is it aging? I'm asking because I need therapy, I guess.
You've got to laugh about it. What we have to know is that aging brings something as well. You're losing part of the youth, okay. You can say you lose part of your beauty, whatever. But you're gaining maturity. Come on.
Experience.
You're gaining the values. The values are different. They're changing. Because you have to let go of some things. So, come on. You have to think that you're gaining as well. It's not only about losing. Well, it annoys me when I have to put glasses to read, and it annoys me to have somebody repeat what you say because you didn't know you come here. It's really annoying and frustrating, but you've got to laugh about it, because otherwise there's no way. The humor you have to get. You're gaining humor. Can't you?
But you learn to do that, no?
Of course. As you go.
There's a process, no?
Absolutely. And when you're lucky enough to have time to go through the process, life becomes so precious. But the thing is, because in certain tradition, the oldest are the one who knows.
They're the wisest.
And there's a respect.
They're the wisest. Yeah.
Exactly. And we lost track of that. Because of, having all in this magazine that youth is always the big power. But if you go back to traditions, it was not like that.
How do you keep yourself so down to earth and so humble? You're a
well, you have kids.
Come on. Yeah, I do.
It brings you back into reality, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But also it's a need, because, you cannot believe in the illusions of things. There's a truth that you can put in the illusion, and that's why fiction is kind of fascinating. But you cannot
make it kind of real, but no.
Yeah, you can identify with the illusion. You can, but there's a truth you can embody through it.
So your kids have helped a lot
Oh yeah.
Or when they say, take out those zebra pants, no?
I didn't show it to her yet.
That's the way
He's laughing. I'm really annoyed.
The children, they do that with me every time, you know, like, no? And that keeps you very down to earth. For them, you're just their mother.
Absolutely. I think they're, our masters.
Of course they are, yeah.
They're pushing us in the right place, into our limits.
We were talking before that that's the most difficult role not to play, being a mother, I guess. I mean,
I don't know if it's the most difficult one. Sometimes it is, because you don't know what to do. You have no...
You play it by ear a little bit, no? I mean, nobody teaches you.
You have to adapt all the time.
Only them.
A friend of mine said to me, helping children grow, it's like going up the stairs. How do you say?
One by one at a time?
No, one étage.
A step.
No.
Un piso, one level.
One level.
Yeah.
You think you arrived. Then you walk a little bit and say, that's it, that's done. And then you have another level. And then you say, that's it, we have arrived. And then you have another level. And it continues.
Never stops. Yeah. Never stops. Now, you always wanted to live in France and stay in Paris, Hollywood, Broadway. I mean, you've been all over. And you always come back. You always go back home, no?
Yeah, absolutely. Because, why? Because... my children's fathers are in Paris. My parents are there. My family is there. And also it's a way of going back to the ground and not, the Hollywood world was not my choice. It's something of a system. I don't want to belong to any system. I think, creating your own path is more interesting to me, and I think it has to do with my character, and
you can be free where you are. No, it's different. I mean, I feel an outsider as a French actress as well. Because I've been working with foreign directors mostly. Mostly in my whole career, and it's been my choice to go to artists that are touching me, and also life has been, giving me that kind of situation. As a young actress, I've been working with authors from the beginning, so I just continued, when listening to that need and... Yeah, you haven't had the need to be in LA and to be in Hollywood.
No. I enjoyed working with, American directors and actors. And it's been, really fulfilling and joyful. But it's been, like that.
Yeah.
Not a planned thing.
It's a different system. Europe filming is different than the States, no? I guess.
It is.
European, it's different.
Absolutely.
It's a different industry.
Yes. Yeah, because the American system is more based on the production part of things, and also mostly it's because they don't have a government help, so the money is more difficult in a way. This French system, it protects the author, so you can do a smaller film, with money that is helping the film to be made. So the commercial side of films in America is stronger in a way.
What does a script has to have in order for you to choose?
It has to come also at the right time in your life.
Yeah.
Because during Schindler's List, I was pregnant, and I had to play a role that was beaten up and raped and killed. And I thought, as a pregnant woman, I didn't want to. I didn't want to live that, because acting goes into your cells. Your cells believe what you're living, what you're acting. So I didn't want to have a traumatic moment, in my pregnancy.
Very intense.
No, even though it's possible to reconcile and change things at the end of the day, but living a pregnancy is important.
How did you live your pregnancies, your two pregnancies? Was it
The first one I didn't make any films, but I did a lot of painting.
And you write also, no? And you publish what you write, no? You
I
have
did a book,
published,
and
yeah.
there were portraits, painting inks, as well as poems. But when I was pregnant, I was doing a painting with a friend of mine, and we did a 52 meter on 4 meters painting with the abstract with our hands.
Wow.
And I put big, sponges on my knees, and I was big, I was huge, and I was I was so joyful. Yeah, crawling.
Wow.
And when I was 6 months pregnant, I don't think my son liked that very much.
Not
so I
anymore.
feeling, okay, that was a little uncomfortable, so I stopped.
But they were nice, like the nice waiting and the pregnancy, was it nice?
No, I had a lot of energy actually. Pregnant, I had a lot of energy. On the contrary, I found myself very creative.
Wow.
So I was double creation. Creation here and the creation there.
Also, the second one, you were just...
The second one, I shot 2 films, which was a
Wow.
lot. And at the beginning of my pregnancy, I had to shoot a period film with a corset. So I was 2 months pregnant. It was difficult. Yeah, and I was very sick. So it was kind of difficult, but I didn't think it blocked the pregnancy at all. It was quite all right. Just that I was sick. That's all. And after that, I shot a film with Michael Haneke, and it was very, very hot. And we had to find ways of hiding myself, so I had big clothes like this. But I could, a mother knows whether she can do it or not.
Yeah, of course.
And I felt like that was
But you felt okay and with energy and creative. And are you still painting?
At the moment, no. But last year I did a film.
No?
Well, Camille Claudel, she's
was
a
a
sculptor,
sculptor,
but
yeah.
also in the film I didn't have to do any, sculpting, because it was a time when she was put in an asylum, almost like in a prison.
The film takes place in all the time where
Exactly.
she stood there.
Yeah, and she spent 27 years of her life in an asylum, But last year I did a film called Words and Pictures.
I saw it.
And I played a painter, so I had to do the painting while I was shooting. It was a challenge.
With a big brush, actually.
Big brush.
Yeah. That was
Inspired by
the idea.
Fabienne Verdier, who's a French painter, who did this amazing big brush of 100 kilos, and she has this pulley, this kind of system that she's moving, but she's a calligraph, painter, and she does with a lot of soul and knowledge. I didn't.
Now, words are very powerful, and images too. No, between those two, if you had to decide, which is more powerful, either words or images, pictures?
Well, images bring words as well. Words bring images.
Of course.
I mean, how can you,
disassociate
separate them? At the same time, I know that I'm
visual.
I'm more visual naturally, but words I'm coming towards because the resonance that words give into the body are very strong. Because it opens your heart, and words are very powerful. When you pronounce a word, it can change your life forever. But using it as a real engagement can change really your way of talking.
It can be a weapon also.
It can be, but in saying something to yourself and out loud, like I accept, or I will, or yes or no, it can change your life forever.
How hard are you with yourself?
I work a lot, but I have joy in working. So I don't think it's hard that I would use as a word, but it's the need of the engagement you give yourself. You have to give the hours that it requires, because you cannot, make your dream come true if you don't give the hours for it. Your potential grow if you give the hours for it.
You have to work on it.
You have to
work
give it
for it and on it.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, I mean, you can believe in miracles, and I do. There are things that is beyond your expectation, but nevertheless, you've got to be ready, and it means you've got to have good wine, as you were. You have to have good wine.
I have to.
You have to do it a long time before.
Shall we? Santé or no?
Oh wow! Oh, you're a dangerous woman. Is she dangerous? I think she is. Cheers. Cheers.
Santé. Thank you.
Salud. Is it a Mexican wine?
Salud.
Is it a Mexican wine?
I'm not sure. I just asked for 2 glasses of red wine because I'm in your French, color. So
yeah,
it smells good.
Are you going to drink?
Of course.
Good.
It's good, no?
You're supposed to 1 glass
of French without wine, red wine
per day, but
per
no
day,
more.
No more.
It's supposed to be very good.
Have you tried tequila?
Yeah, with Kate I tried tequila.
Yeah, Kate loves tequila. Not one though. And mezcal, have you tried mezcal?
I'm not sure.
Oh, you have to try mezcal. That's good. That's very good. You're gonna like it. So the film, the Clouds of Sis Marie, it's about aging also, no?
And it's about a lot of things.
Tell us.
It's about transformation. It's about what it costs to go into a role, because I'm playing an actress.
I know.
And the relationship also with your assistant, how it's happening. The intimacy, Kristen Stewart is playing my assistant in the film, and you feel this intimate relationship, and at the same time there are conflicts, because being so intimate brings a lot of things in you, and so my character is rehearsing her role with her, and there's a moment you don't know whether it's the reality or the fiction.
Wow.
And it's you can't really see sometimes, and it becomes very intense. And meanwhile you have in a story a younger actress who's playing the role I played 20 years before. So I'm furious with this actress somehow, because she's stealing the power I had at the time, because she was revealed, my character was revealed 20 years before with that character. So it brings a lot of layers. And meanwhile, you have the new world coming with the cell phones, the Twitter, the Facebook, the Google, and my character being more into she was a very successful actress in the Hollywood world, but she's not anymore, not as much. So you see the change of world and what she's losing, and yet
very dramatic. No?
It's very intense, but it's full of, I think, humor. And because to play an actress who's a little grumpy and is losing her power, it's joyful, because you have to laugh about yourself. You have to laugh. So at the end, bit by bit, you see my character going into the role she's supposed to play, which is the older part. And even though she's been resisting, for days and days, at the end suddenly it comes. And there's been a transformation.
Wow.
And it's very powerful.
And what's
because
the outcome?
I think it can touch, it touched man because of the, how do you let go of the past? And women as well, of course. But I was sure it was going to touch women, but I wasn't sure it was going to touch men. And I was surprised to see how they receive it as well. Quite something, yeah.
Are you a feminist?
I'm a lover of feminine.
Yeah, of course.
We don't need names, but I think we need feminine in the world. Definitely, It's what we're missing for the equilibrium of the world, and the, you know, receiving is as important as this energy, you know. And with nature and with ourselves, we have too much of this need of power and taking things in, feeling grateful. I think it's more the feminine energy, and I think that is what we're missing, and that we have to somehow allow more. So I don't mean that the, you know, women against men, not at all, because we have
but there's a
the
lot
feminine
that we
side.
still have to do for women in many countries. I mean,
a lot of things to do.
A lot of things still to do. I
Yeah,
mean, it's amazing.
it's
Not
still-
in Europe. No, you don't see that in Europe. I mean,
Well, you see it in a very
that.
different way. You know, the way the pictures in magazines, the image of women, the high heels like that, the belts like that. And I'm part of it too. I put high heels, but I know somehow it's not the feminine.
No, that's not important. Are you pretty much into fashion, or you just don't care?
I have to, in a way, because you know, even though when I work in front of the camera, there's something about, you know, taking away the, oh, you're drinking.
Yes, you should drink.
I should drink.
Yeah.
I'm going to
This is going to be aired by midnight, so we're allowed to drink. And
we're allowed to drink.
yeah, if you want a cigarette, I can give you a cigarette as
Oh,
well.
my God.
I do whatever I want here. So. What was I saying?
Yeah, fashion.
Yeah, fashion. Do you care about fashion? Or, I mean, I know you have to, because you're a symbol. I mean, you are a symbol.
Yes, there's the image of the actress, so somehow it's related. And I'm learning to love it. It's not that genuinely, you know, it was really my passion. Even though I love disguising myself, you know, when I was a little girl, but it was more for the characters, you know. And as an actress, you usually, you know, you're not choosing for your own, you know, image. It's about the characters, so you have to, there's an abnegation of yourself and serving, you know, something more important than yourself. You're at service. But when it comes to promoting, you know, a film or coming into, you know, doing interviews, and there's an image of the actress that is kind of a learning process. It hasn't been easy for me.
No?
No. I mean, walking in front of, you know, 200 photographers, how natural is this? Having all those flashes. I mean, it's not natural at all.
Carpet.
And you've got to, you know, go like a queen and say, everything's fine and I'm so happy. I mean, it's a learning
you
process.
are a queen. You really are a queen. No,
Oh my
really,
God.
You are a queen.
No, but I mean, it's...
I understand what you say.
Yeah.
It's like annoying.
It's
like
something you've got to take as a sort of a duty, at the same time to lift it to some other places. Because again, if you take it as a possibility of giving something, it's already something else.
Yeah.
So but it's something to learn. If you take it too personally, it's heavy.
And fame? How do you deal with fame?
You know, in France,
No?
I don't feel that at all. I go
Really?
and do I do my shopping. I do whatever. I go to the market.
go to the market
I've been
and you
going to the market for a long time.
Do you cook?
I do
Other than
cook.
chocolate?
I do cook, but I have, you know, I begged a friend of mine. She became a friend to come at home and cook for us, because I can't do everything.
I know.
You know, you can't.
When did you find out that you couldn't do anything? Because then what happens with women, I don't know if that happened to you, is that you want to be a very good mother, a very good actress, a very good sister, a very good daughter, a very good everything. No, that's why I was
Well, you have to
asking
accept you can't do
Yeah,
everything.
that's the
You
first
have
thing,
to accept that. It's painful, but
It's very
when you accept, it's fine.
And you cannot
But-
be excellent in every, I mean...
But nevertheless, I think it's important sometimes, once in a while, to prove your children that you can cook, you can be a mother, you know, in that way, because they need to be nourished by you. So even though you have
in
a
all
very...
senses.
Yeah, they need
Yeah.
this nourishment. And so there are times when for 2 months, my morning, I'm saying, what am I going to cook to impress them? You know, and it becomes a duty in a way. It becomes a role of, okay, what kind of recipe I can choose for them. But some other times I can't because there's too many.
You can always play them the violin. You had to learn to play the violin, no?
Yes, but I didn't play very well. Very badly, actually. No, it's true. Very badly.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not making publicity. I'm just telling someone.
Did you enjoy doing that, like learning to play violin, and then did you enjoy it?
I mean,
it's artistic.
Every actor loves learning something and wondering whether it's going to be possible or not at the end of the day. But I don't think I really succeeded in playing the violin in the film. I was too tense.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Well, some moments when you rehearse and suddenly it comes and say, yeah, I can do it. But then you have, as soon as you have the camera, you have a certain tension. You know, so how do you release the tension? That's a big thing. And with the violin, it's like hell. Yeah.
What was it to earn an Oscar, to win an Oscar? Did that change your lifestyle, your career? You started working
I wonder
more?
what it is to change, you know. What is change?
Or we are always changing, I guess. But
yeah, it was very joyful, actually. It's just enjoying that moment of surprise. And but I didn't know I didn't think of it before because I was sure I was not going to have it. So you don't measure the power that it brings. But nevertheless, after I had my Oscar, I went back home and I worked, you know, like very kind of French films and low key, and I think I had to go through a period of sort of a guilt because of success. You know, it's interesting. Now I think I would take it better. Why
the guilt? Have you worked on that? Do you know why?
You know, in Europe, because you come from a place where there's been war, there's been struggle, and so there's always a sense of one day it can disappear. My family had to leave Poland and leave everything behind them. On the other side of my father, they were living in Morocco, they had to leave everything. So you know somehow, somewhere in yourselves that it can go like this. So somehow the successful, you know, it brings a sort of, but I know the truth. I know the truth. So there's no illusion that can, you know, trick me. But nevertheless, I lived it as a very joyful moment.
But maybe you're being unfair with yourself, you know?
Yeah, but there's a lot of work to do on oneself, as you know.
That's
so
why
accepting.
I was asking how hard are you on yourself?
Acceptance of your joy, your success, but that is a recognition of your own people on the work you've done. That's what it is. I mean, it's not more than that or less than that. It's a recognition of your people. So it's very meaningful. At the same time, it's just what it is. And also, the political kind of journey that is behind a promotion of a film for the Oscars. Because without having Weinstein, who knows very well how to promote a film for the Oscars, I wouldn't have had the Oscars. So when you know the machine, you understand more. You know how it works. So don't take it personally in a way.
Yeah. What film are you did touch you very much in your career? I mean, which one? I know everyone must have something. Damage. I mean, I remember even Damage.
Damage was very painful to do. It's one of the worst experiences I had as an actress, you know, on set. But I think, I mean, I've been doing, you know, different really different stories. Lately, I would say Camille Claudel was very an experience of, you know, being nude in front of the camera and experiencing something so intimate. And Blue was...
I love Blue.
Yeah.
I love Blue.
And because it was a very joyful shooting, and even though it was a very, you know, intense story, but there was the kind of combination of the joy of making of it and sort of a deep story, you know, quite thematic, and yet there's hope somehow, because she decides to let go of everything. So the acceptance, step by step, and at the end a sort of liberation and being able to refine love somehow is, or the possibility of love, is very, you know, touching. The English Patient has been, the process of it was very beautiful as well. And Lovers on the Bridge, even though it's been, you know, some moments were very painful, but it's been one of the works that I've been the most, you know, proud in a way, because it was we had to have so much faith to do it, and constance, and saying no to so many projects, and so I think it just gave me the consciousness of somehow my limits, but also the power of faith.
What's love for you?
What's love?
Love. I mean, it's in everything you do. It has to, I mean, you have to
remind yourself to love, because we tend to forget, because we're taken by so many, you know, things, life, but remembering, it's an intention, it's letting yourself be loved as well. I think it's the most difficult, to allow yourself to be loved, and that's very much the feminine. I think this force that is coming in you is allowing this force. But all yourselves should be in love. It's not a moment. It's not only the moment between 8 and 10 when you're in bed.
It's all the time.
It has to be in every second of your life, and that's the challenge of it. I think it's really what it is in what I love about films, because there's something about loving. And when
and
you
passion,
can't,
all love and passion.
when you feel you can't do a scene, for example, you're incapable of going through that emotion because it's too painful, and you just allow somehow a place where it's you have to love the moment where it feels impossible and unbearable, and if you allow that moment to come inside of you, it's suddenly possible. I mean, you have to remind yourself, I think.
All the time.
All the time. That's the real challenge, I think, of love.
It is a challenge. Life is a challenge, no? Constantly. Constantly. Now, as good friends, I suppose you're very...
I think we're already drunk.
You're very politicized, no? I mean, you're into politics.
I'm into the human being, the need of unity, and
elaborate
to participate.
on that. Elaborate on that.
Okay,
I'm
so
very interested in that. You have to participate, yes. But it takes energy, it takes time, it takes part of you, so you have to, it takes commitment, it takes...
I think that's why I need art.
To express
art.
yourself.
No, to feel related to the other, to feel totally in tune with the other, to feel unity, to feel, I feel the same. It's exactly how I feel. Because we have to find bridges to reach each other's. And art is a wonderful bridge. Suddenly you don't feel alone anymore. Because loneliness is the worst.
You've ever felt lonely? See?
Yeah, of course. since very, very young.
And it's very painful.
But at the same time, the child...
How was your relationship and how is with your mother?
You scratching your head. Are you having a bad relationship with your mother?
No, she passed away, so I miss her. But it's never easy, no? Daughter and mother, it's very difficult relationship, no?
It depends on
you
the period
being
of time.
actress and she being an actress,
But she was a lot of things. She was not only the actress. You know, there are a lot of conflicts you're going through, but there's a lot of possible reconciliation, and words are very meaningful during that time. I was very close to my mother. As a teenager, she was the world for me. And she, took me into arts, into books, into theater, movies, music, and being human, being a human being, very genuinely generous. Then, as I grew, of course, we encounter things. But where you define yourself, you're different, and the separation
you're
is
another person.
It's very difficult to separate from your parents, and it's very difficult for the parents that they have to separate from you. So the journey is on both sides, and it's a learning process. That's why we're each other's masters in a way, because we're learning so much from our differences. But the tolerance you've got to go through is huge.
Huge. Your son, you said he's 21. He lives with you or not anymore?
Yes.
He still lives with you.
Yeah.
Is that common in Europe, for example, or no? In my country, yes. In Mexico, it is.
I think I heard it's more and more like this. I know. I was independent very early on, but that was my need. I was already, into my life. I mean, the rhythm of everyone is different.
It's different.
And
the pace, it's very different.
And I'm not sure it's that easy, to have a mother that's very active. For a child, it feels like, oh, I'm going to be different than you. I'm going to be not as quick, not as, there's...
Not as independent.
Yeah. No. But he has his plan. I know he has his plan. I trust him.
He likes acting or something that
he loves films.
Okay.
But he makes a difference between my films and his films, and I think he's right.
What does he like?
He has a real knowledge of nowadays films. I mean, he goes and sees a lot of... He's a real cinephile in his own way.
Wow.
But he's into... he's preparing... he's in a school for creating video games.
Oh, really?
And very early on, I was against video games, So there were a lot of stories, and I had to apologize to him. I said, I'm so sorry, I didn't get it. The time in front of the video games drove me mad, and I'm sorry for it. Because I thought you lost your time, but if it's your passion, go for it, God, go
ahead,
for it. But you have to recognize your mistakes.
I know,
and that generation
also, limitations.
Yeah, we're limited.
Our own limited.
That's why we're drinking.
Salud.
Salud.
How are you with technology? Are you friendly?
Not bad.
Not bad?
I hate it, but I'm not bad.
Really?
Yeah, because when you're in front and you don't know how it works, it makes you feel like this.
I know.
I don't like
with
it.
With your children. No.
Yeah, that's true.
But
it's wonderful that they know something better than
you.
Yeah.
And they teach you.
They teach you, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of a joke,
Now, stage. Stage and filming, the difference. You started on stage, theater. And but most of your career has been films? Is that correct?
Yes. I've done I don't know, something like, some people say 40, but I think it's more 50 films. And theater, I've done 7 plays, which is not a lot compared to films, but...
Why is that? I mean, just because it happened?
Because it's, life, gives you.
It puts you in there.
It puts you where you should be somehow, if you really, listening to the little voice. But I'm going to be playing Antigone of Sophocles next year, and I'm going to be... in different places in
Really?
Europe as well as in New York.
Wow. And then you had a period of your time that you spent in London, right?
Yeah, because I shot a lot of films in London, so I more or less lived like 2 or 3 years.
How was your stay there?
I always loved it. I love traveling. I love going to
You
different
don't
places.
miss your home, you don't miss, no.
No, my home is inside of me. Yeah.
You learned that in an easy way, or you learned that in the hard way, that your house is inside you and you take it wherever you
It's a
go?
fact. It's a fact. It's where you belong. I mean, I do have a home, and I'm really,
I understand.
you know, take good care of it, and the kids are very happy in this place. But nevertheless, home is inside of you, and you built your own house, and you grow with your own house. It's really where it is. Don't try and look at it, you know, outside of yourself. It's inside.
Also happiness, and also everything is inside ourselves. No? Okay.
If you try and, you know, there's no holding on place. It's scary, but when you accept that, it's so liberating, because there's no...
Grudges.
But, I mean, it feels good to have a place to go back to. I mean, there's so much, you know, in the world, so much people who have nothing.
People to go back to also, no? Also, I think always people to go back to, you know, back home. Your children. What does, I was asking you before, what does a film has to have in order for you to choose and do it?
I'm touched by films that where there's a possible transformation, and if my character can transform, or one of the characters transform, because I think that's really what it is in life. You have this possibility of transforming, and I think that's really the real hope. And the transformation is not always going forward. It's going inward as well. And it's letting go, you know, accepting that you can't do everything. This is part of transformation. And so usually I love characters that have this, it's going through layers. Because I think that's where I'm the best, you know, as an actress, is with this sort of a descending into you and be in touch with a possible world that you don't know yet, but it's there.
Who do you admire as an actress, for example?
Who do I admire?
Yeah. Who do you like?
I admire Mandela. I admire Da Vinci, Bach. I admire people who have courage.
Did you ever meet Mandela or no?
No, I spoke with one of his daughters, and because I did a film in South Africa about the TRC Truth and Reconciliation Commission with John Borman, and I have how do you call it, a gravure, une gravure of his hand, and you know, on his hand there was Africa in the whole of his hand.
No.
Yeah. You can see Africa, and he put green for me.
No.
So I didn't meet with him, but he did that for me. It was, you know, it was very weak at the time, so he was not available. You know, I couldn't meet with him.
Which actress do you like? Do you admire? Like,
I admire Well, there are three actresses I feel that they're, for me, they're a point of reference. Ana Magnani, Gina Rollins, and Liv Ullmann.
Liv Ullmann, yeah.
Yeah. They're, I think, you can't put words on their work, you know. It's you see their soul, you see everything, you see anything.
Yeah, all of it.
All of it.
All of it.
And there's something about generosity and being without weapons.
That's what happens when we see you on a film. That's what we think. That's what we feel. That you're naked for all of us, you know, like the soul, everything.
Yeah, that's the real challenge, is how can I be naked in front of the camera? You know, how can I really put myself in a place that is dangerous, that I didn't even imagine myself? How can I find something that I cannot imagine even? And when you have a director,
it makes it happen. Do you cry easily? You're making me cry.
No, because it's about, you know,
I know,
being available, and being available is everything. Because it's
for everybody.
Look at that fly. It's going around me.
You are a queen. I have to say that you are a queen.
Oh, you are a queen.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And I hope you enjoy your stay in Mexico. And I really hope to see you again.
Me too.
Really.
Thank you for having
Salud.
me. Salute.
Salud. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And you're beautiful. You are. It's good. Very good one. Yeah, it is good.
Do I have other interviews to do? Otherwise I finish it.